Right. Last week, at the end of the lesson, we discussed the graph of y equals mod x. The graph of y equals mod x. The graph of y equals mod x, that graph is graph of y equals mod x. We learn, people, it is a V-shaped graph like this. This angle and this angle equal to 45. Right? The equation of only this line is y equals x. The equation of only this line y equals minus 6. Then the single equation for both this part and this part equals y equals mod x. Okay, right. Now the next thing is, suppose people y equals mod x minus 1. This graph, right, compared to this y equals mod x, here from this x, 1 has been subtracted. In that case, remember the way of drawing this graph, the mod x graph, here it is 0 now. Since here 1 is subtracted from this x, the graph of this can be obtained by using this, shifting this graph to the right by 1 unit like this. To the right by 1 unit like this. And if I draw y equals mod x plus 1, then 1 is added, then this graph can be obtained by y equals mod x graph. We can obtain this one. Since we have added 1, this graph can be obtained by shifting this y equals mod x graph to leftward by 1 unit. So therefore, I can draw this y equals mod x minus 1 graph, shifting this y equals mod x graph to the right by 1, like this. This is the 1. Now this graph, the inclination of these branches, we don't change, no. The whole thing we take to right hand side by 1 unit. Okay. So therefore, still this angle is 45. Okay. Then this is the x-axis, this is y-axis. Then if I find the equation of this graph and this graph, that means this branch and this branch separately. So you can take that one. This overall graph is y equals mod x minus 1. No? For this branch and this branch, the single equation we can assign is this. If I take this branch and this branch separately to find the equation of this and this, we have to define this mod x minus 1. You know, mod x minus 1 will be equal to, on the right of 1, this mod x minus 1 will be equal to x minus 1. No? Therefore, this equation is y equals x minus 1. On the left of this one, mod x minus 1 is multiplying this x minus 1 by minus sign we get. Therefore, the equation of this is going to be x minus 1, you have to multiply by minus, then minus x plus 1 coming. Okay. So therefore, remember, if something subtracted from this x, the new graph can be obtained by shifting mod x graph to right. Okay. When we have subtracted something from x. When we have added something to this x, that graph can be obtained using this y equals mod x graph, shifting that mod x graph to left by this value. Okay. Right. So then if I draw y equals mod x plus 1, then this mod x graph we have to shift to leftward by 1 unit. Therefore, here minus 1, the branches are coming like this. This is 45, this is 45, right? This way. Okay. Now, the equation, overall equation for the whole graph is y equals mod x plus 1. Right? Then if I take this equation separately and this equation separately, to get that one, we have defined mod x plus 1. How define mod x plus 1? On the right of minus 1, this mod x plus 1 will be equal to x plus 1. So therefore, the equation of this is going to be y equals x plus 1. On the left of this minus 1, this x plus 1 modulus is equal to minus times x plus 1. That means this x plus 1 you have to multiply by minus sign. Minus x minus 1, right? This is y equals minus x minus 1. So this is how we draw that. So therefore, remember, subtraction, when you subtract something from x, that graph can be obtained by y equals mod x graph. If you subtract mod x graph, you have to shift to right by this subtracted value. If added, mod x graph you have to take left by this added value. Understood? So therefore, still this angle 45. Okay, right now. Then right, like this. Draw the graph of y equals mod x minus 1. Draw the graphs of y equals mod x minus 1 and y equals mod x plus 1 by using the graph of y equals mod x. By using the graph of y equals mod x. Right. Count this one, people. This is the y equals mod x graph. This is y equals mod x minus 1. This is y equals mod x plus 1. Right? Those graphs. Right now, next one. Right now, see this one. Even now, suppose we have y equals mod x plus 1 or y equals mod x minus 1. This time, this addition and the subtraction is done after mod x, not inside the modulus sign. On this occasion, to draw these two graphs by using the y equals mod x graph, this one can be obtained since 1 is added. The mod x graph is taken upward by 1 unit without taking horizontally. Upward by 1 unit. So therefore, distinguish the difference between this and this. Here 1 is added to the x within modulus sign, but here 1 is added after the modulus sign. So that occasion, this y equals mod x graph should be taken since 1 is added upward by 1 unit to obtain this graph. This one can be obtained by lowering the mod x graph by 1 unit. Remember that, okay? Right. So then people will come to that too. Right, after finishing this, we'll come to next question. Sketch the graphs. Sketch the graphs of y equals mod x plus 1 and y equals mod x minus 1. Y equals mod x plus 1 and y equals mod x minus 1. Right. How take that two graphs, people? Mod x plus 1 graph can be obtained taking the y plus mod x graph upwards by 1 unit. This way the graph will be. This is 1. This is y-axis, x-axis, negative x-axis, negative y-axis is origin. Now, how to obtain the equation of this branch and this branch separately? The single equation we can assign for this is y equals mod x plus 1. Okay. But if I take this branch and this branch separately, yeah, you can take the equation of this way. Y equals mod x. Right. This part is on the right hand side of 0. No? On the right hand side of 0, this mod x is people x here. And to that 1 is added. Therefore, this is y equals x plus 1. On the left hand side of 0, this mod x is minus x. This is minus x. To that 1 is added. Therefore, the equation of this y equals minus x plus 1 is the equation. Right. Similarly, this can be drawn lowering this mod x graph by 1 unit downwards. Right. That one we can draw. Minus 1 is the vertex now. You see, right? So then this equation is, right, this overall equation is people y equals mod x minus 1. No? On the right of 0, mod x is x. 1 is subtracted. No? So therefore, this equation is y equals x minus 1. This equation is y equals minus x minus 1. That's how we take that. Okay. Okay, now people will see then how to draw this type of graph. Right? Draw the graphs of number 1, y equals mod x plus 2 plus 2. Okay. Second one is people y equals mod x minus 1 minus 1. How to draw this straight away? By the knowledge you have at the moment. Okay. Right. First of all, people, this mod x plus 2 graph we can draw. How? Taking mod x graph to leftward by 2 units. Then the vertex will be at -2. Since 2 is added, that graph we have to take upwards by another 2 units. Right. Then you can sketch like that. This vertex comes to left by 2 units because of this 2 added, and since this 2 added, that graph is going up another 2 units. So therefore, the vertex will be at 2 point. This is one branch. This is other branch. Why? This is 6. Okay. Now we can find the equation of this and equation of this separately. Right. Mod x plus 2. Here people are -2, right? This is -2. -2. X plus 2 means graph coming to leftward by 2 units. Therefore, this is -2. Then on the right of this -2, mod x plus 2 will be equal to x plus 2. To this x plus 2, we have to add people another 2, right? I'm talking on the right hand side of -2. On the right hand side of -2, this is x plus 2. So that x plus 2, another 2 added. Then on the right hand side is x plus 4. Right. Okay. Next one. Right. Then on the left of -2, this mod x plus 2, this mod x plus 2 can be obtained multiplying this by minus sign. It is -x minus 2. This is -x minus 2. And this plus 2, when you add -2 plus 2 will cancel off, then we get y equals -6. This is the equation y equals -6. But the single equation for the whole graph is this. It is y equals mod x plus 2 plus 2. This is the equation. This. Okay, now. Right. This one, mod x minus 1, minus 1. First, we draw this mod x minus 1 graph. We have to shift mod x graph to right. Since 1 has subtracted, we have to take that downward by 1 unit. Okay, right. We draw that too. We have to shift this by 1 unit to the right and bring down by 1 unit. Then the graph will be like this. Making 45. This time, the left-hand side portion passes to the origin, definitely. This way. Right. On the right of this one, mod x minus 1 is people, x minus 1. Then this is x minus 1, minus 1, x minus 2. So therefore, this is y equals x minus 2. On the left of one, mod x minus 1 is equal to multiply this by minus sign. -6 plus 1. Another -1 here we have. Then we have -6 only. Then y equals -6. this equation is y equals minus x. Y equals minus x means a straight line passing through the origin. So therefore, the way we have drawn is correct. So therefore, this point is 1 minus 1. The single equation we can assign for this is y equals mod x minus 1 minus 1. Right. Okay, no? Yeah. And now we'll come to people another question. I think this is okay. I guess this is all. Okay. I will come to another question. This sketch the graph of y equals 2 times mod x minus 3 minus x plus 1 mod. Right. Now this graph, people, when we draw, it is not easy to draw this graph by comparing with y equals mod x graph. So therefore, we give another separate approach for this. First, we define mod x minus 3 and mod x plus 1. Right. We'll define mod x plus x minus 3 and mod x plus 1. Right. This mod x minus 3 will change at 3. So therefore, 3 here. Mod x minus 3 will be equal to, on the right of 3, this mod x minus 3 will be x minus 3. Right. On the left of 3, mod x minus 3 is, people, minus x plus 3. You have to multiply this term by minus sign, minus x plus 3 coming. Right. So therefore, when we consider any value which is on the right of 3, mod x minus 3, we take as x minus 3. When we consider any number which is on the left of 3, right, from 3 up to minus infinity. Okay. On the left of 3, mod x minus 3 is equal to minus x plus 3. Okay. Secondly, we define this mod x plus 1. It changes at minus 1. Mod x plus 1. On the right of minus 1, mod x plus 1 is x plus 1. On the left of minus 1, mod x plus 1, we can obtain multiply this by minus sign, minus x minus 1. Right. First, we have to define that two modulus. Now you can very clearly understand by marking this way two numbers on the number line. The number line is divided into 3 regions. What are the 3 regions? From minus infinity up to minus 1, from minus 1 up to plus 3, from 3 up to plus infinity. They are the 3 regions. Okay. Now in each interval, we have to find what is this right hand side. Right. So then I am going to first take, people, the interval x less than minus 1. X less than minus 1. Right. That means on this interval, on the left of minus 1. Right. Then we have to determine this and this on the left of minus 1. Y equals, right, 2 times mod x minus 3. This no? The value of this we need on the left of minus 1. We have said mod x minus 3 takes minus x plus 3 for all the values which are on the left of 3. On the left of 3 means this region up to minus infinity. We said well, this one takes this. Then this minus 1 also on the left of less than minus 1 also on the left of 3. So therefore, this mod x minus 3 will be equal to minus x plus 3. So therefore, here we have to put minus x plus 3. And minus mod x plus 1. Here, on the left of minus 1, it is minus x minus 1. Then here, within bracket, minus x minus 1. Okay, then we get y equals here, remove the bracket, minus 2x plus 6 minus 6. Here 6, here 187. Minus 2x here plus 6 minus 6. Here 6, here 1, 7. This is the graph. In the interval less than minus 1, we have draw. Second region, people. Number 2. The second region is this interval. Minus 1 to 3. Okay? In that interval we write like this. X greater than or equal to minus 1. Less than 3. This way. You might ask why this equal sign. That is because of this. When you define, people, this x minus 1 modulus, how define this? This x plus 1 modulus, right? X plus 1 modulus will be equal to the same x plus 1 if x plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. Takes the right hand side. X greater than or equal to minus 1. See here. With this greater than sign, we have equal also. That means when you pass this minus 1 and come into right, that means x greater than minus 1. No? And that means when you pass this minus 1 to right, some passing this way, when you come to here, our x value is greater than minus 1 here, greater than minus 1. With that, we have equal sign. That is why we take this equal sign. But people, when we define x minus 3 modulus, that also a little bit important to consider. X minus 3 modulus will be equal to x minus 3 if x minus 3 greater than or equal to 0. This says x greater than or equal to 3. So therefore, to this interval, we don't include this equal sign here because that equal sign will be here when we pass this 3. When we go to right, passing this 3 only, we have to pick this 3 also. So we are really in between minus 1 and 3 now. So that is why we put only the less than sign. Right. In the next case, people, next one is y, this x. Yeah. Now we pass this 3. From the left of 3, we pass this 3 and go to right. That occasion here, x greater than or equal to 3. When you go to right of 3, x greater than 3, no, with equal sign, taking 3 also, we have to go to right. Therefore, the next interval is going to be x greater than or equal to 3. Right. Now, in this interval, let's see what is this graph. Y equals 2 times mod x minus 3 in this interval. What is that? Minus 6 plus 3. Within bracket, minus 6 plus 3. Minus mod x plus 1 in this interval. It is 6 plus 1. Okay. Now simplify this. A minus 2x, a minus x, minus 3x. Here 6 minus 1, it is 5. Minus 2x, minus 6 minus 3x, 2 into 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. This is the graph we have drawn. Right. Next one, in this interval, 2 times mod x minus 3 on the right of 3, it is 6 minus 3. Minus x plus 1, right? For all values on the right of minus 1, mod x plus 1 takes this. So therefore, on the right of 3 also, right of 3 means on the right of minus 1, no? This will take x plus 1. Now simplify this. It is y equals 2x minus x is x, minus 6 minus 1 is minus 7. Right. These are the 3 graphs we have drawn in each interval. Okay. Right. Now we have drawn these graphs. We have drawn these graphs, right? Okay. Now you know each of this is a straight line. Okay. To draw a straight line, people, we should have 2 points. Right. I'll tell you how to find one point, a point. Now remember, to find one point, people, definitely this x value less than minus 1, right? That less than minus 1, but don't consider about this minus 1, minus this less than sign. Consider only minus 1. Put that minus 1 here and find the y value. That is 1 point on this line. Definitely this minus 1 we have to substitute here. Then somebody might say, since x less than minus 1, how do you substitute that minus 1 here? That's true, I agree that, people. I am, people, going to draw this whole graph, this one. This is a straight line, no? I am going to draw that straight line. Right? In drawing that straight line, I need 2 points on the line. To find 1 point, I put x equals minus 1. And we find 1 point. Thereafter, this whole line I am going to draw. Right, after drawing that line, what part we need? The part I need is on the left of minus 1, what is available, that part only I am going to take. That's what I am doing. So therefore, nobody can say this x less than minus 1. So therefore, how can we substitute for this x? This minus 1. No, I am not going to substitute in this. I am going to substitute in the whole graph to draw the OXY plane. So you know, when we draw this whole graph, people, y equals minus x plus 1 is coming, gradient is minus 1, no? Plus 7 is the intercept. This graph is coming like this, people. The line is coming like this. That line only I am going to draw. But since I need the part which is on the left of minus 1, then somewhere here we have minus 1, no? At that value, there is a height, no? From this whole graph on the left of this part I need. Then I am going to erase this part. That's what I am going to do. Okay. So then, to minimize our work, without drawing the whole graph, only this part I am going to draw straight away. That's what I am going to do. Right? So therefore, nobody can say here, putting x equals minus 1, you can't put here minus 1. Right? I agree that one. I am not going to do the same thing. I am going to do the whole line and of that line, the required part I am going to take straight away at once. Okay? Right. Right. So this is enough sometimes to comment about our class. He is teaching a wrong concept to students and so on. Right? People, they don't know. Once they look your note only, they take that idea. But I am saying here, but they don't know that. So therefore, carefully understand what I am trying to tell you. Yeah. Right. So therefore, here Here, now put x equals minus 1. When I put x equals minus 1 here, what do you get, people? X coordinate is minus 1. When I put minus 1 here, minus minus plus, plus 1, plus 7, 8. 1 point is minus 1, 8. Right. Another point we need, we'll see how to do that next. Here, since we have two x values, here we have only one value, no? 4x. The other one is minus infinity, no? Right. When we have like these people, both these values, minus 1 and 3, we have to put here and find 2 points. That 2 points are the 2 points to draw this line. Okay. Right. Then we have to put x equals minus 1. Minus 1, x is minus 1, then put that here. What is y? Minus 3, minus 1 is plus 3, plus 5, it is 8. 1 point is minus 1, 8. So the other point, people, put here this 3. Minus 9, no? Minus 9 plus 4. X is 3, no? Minus 9 plus 4. Minus 9 plus 5 minus 4, no? This. Minus 9 plus 5 minus 4, right? Yeah. Here also, people, put this x equals 3. Here, of course, no issue, x equals 3 possible to put. 3, put here 3, 3 minus 7 is minus 4. Right. Now, for this line and this line, we have only 1 point, but here we have 2 points. We know to draw a straight line, there should be 2 points. But for this one and this one, we have only 1. Right. Never mind. I'll explain the way of getting that. Okay. Now we are going to draw the graph. Right. We are going to draw the graph. Right. So now we'll draw the OXY plane. Right. Okay. Now x equals minus 1 here. X equals 3 here. Right. X equals minus 1, 8 is a point. Minus 1, 8. Minus 1, 8 is somewhere here, suppose. This is a minus 1, 8. And here minus 1, 8 and 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4 we get. 3 minus 4 is, people, minus 4 is somewhere here. The point is this. Okay. Okay, now this graph, see, minus x plus 7. People, in this graph, the gradient is minus 1. That means it should be like this. All right. This angle with the x-axis that makes is 45. Right. Gradient is minus 1, no? 45. Intercept is 7. 7 is somewhere here, people. Right. This height is 8, no? 7 is below that. Then if I draw that line, joining this point and this point, when we produce this way, the line we can draw. Then what we do is this, approximately mark the 7 here, and now I have to join this point and this point, and we have to produce this way. This is the line. But this line we need on the left of minus 1. For our convenience of finding another point only, we use this intercept 7. But this portion is to remove. Why? We need, people, right? We need this graph on the left of minus 1. Therefore, this part we have to delete. Right. Okay. This we have drawn. Now next one is joining minus 1, 8, and 3 minus 4. That 2 points we know. 3 minus 4 point is this. Now we have to join this and this. This point should further be coming, people, this way, no? This way, it is this way. Take approximately a scale and draw. That also we do. Right, no? Now we'll take x minus 7. Right. Its one point is 3 minus 4. This is that point. This x minus 7 graph is people having positive gradient. No? Gradient is 1 here. X coefficient is 1. No? So therefore gradient is 1. This is 45. Then this line is passing through this point, making an angle, people, 45 with the positive x-axis in anticlockwise. That means intercept is people minus 7. Minus 7 is somewhere here. Take approximate scale, right? Now this point and this point we have to join, and then by producing that we get the required line. But of that line we need the part which is on the right of 3 only. So therefore, keeping your ruler here and here, while joining these two, start to join from here to this way. Then you get that graph. Yes, sir. So once we actually produce this line, that should cut the y-axis at minus 7 somewhere here, right? And now put the ruler like this and draw the like this. And that is how we find the other point to draw the line. So this is how we draw the whole graph. The equation, single equation for the graph is people, this is y equals 2 times mod x minus 3 minus mod x plus 1. Right. If you take this line alone, its equation is y equals minus x plus 7. This one, y equals minus 3x plus 5. This one, y equals x minus 7. This is how we draw that graph. Right now, furthermore, you can see here this gradient is minus 1. Therefore, this angle should be 45. Here, this one gradient is plus 1. Therefore, this angle 45. Right? No? Yes. This is how we draw simply that graph. Right. People, now will come to one question here. In your tutorial, some tutorials people I posted, I think yesterday evening session posted some tutorials, not for all students. The tutorial posted, I think your tutorial will be received tomorrow or day after tomorrow for the revision. And next week onwards, we start the paper. Paper also with the tutorial I post. So now this tutorial, of course, until we have to, this tutorial we have to do until the end of the lessons available here. Then the next time you will get only the paper through post. Okay. Right. I think now you have this tutorial. I put this in the group now. Have I? Right. Those who have this tutorial, people take the question number 20. Take question number 20. Yeah, that tutorial available in the group. Question number 20, take. Question number 20, people. Yeah, asking to draw the graphs of y equals mod x minus 2 plus mod x minus 4 and y equals mod 2x minus 3, right? First draw these people, this graph and this graph. I'll give 5 minutes. Hurry up. Right. Here, to draw this one, people, first we define mod x minus 2 will change at 2, right? Mod x minus 4 will change at 4. Then mod x minus 2 on the right of 2 will be equal to x minus 2. Left of 2, multiply this by minus sign, minus 6 plus 2. Mod x minus 4, left of 4, multiply this by minus sign, minus 6 plus 4, right of 4 the same, right? Now, first thing is x less than 2. This one, minus 6 plus 2. This one, minus 6 plus 4. Y, minus 6 minus 6 minus 2x. 2 plus 4 is 6. Next, people, x greater than or equal to 2, but less than 4. Y in this interval, mod x minus 2 is x minus 2. This one between 2 and 4 means this interval. This one takes minus 6 plus 4, no? Right? Right. You can cancel down this and this. We get y equals 2. Next one, number 3, x greater than or equal to 4. Okay. There we get y equals x minus 2 and x minus 4. Y equals 2x minus 6. Here x coordinate 2, people. Put that 2 here. Minus 4 plus 6 is 2, 2, 2. Here y equals 2 line means parallel to x-axis, cutting y-axis at 2. Therefore, no need to find points. Here, put x equals 4, x 4, put 4 here. 2 into 4 is 8, minus 6 is 2. All right. Right. So now this data enough to draw what? This one. Second, this. There are that x is 3 by 2, no, people? X is 3 by 2. Is the point where the modulus changes. Then 2x minus 3 mod will be equal to 2x minus 3. On the left, multiply this by minus sign. Minus 2x plus 3. Okay. Then x less than 3 by 2. What is the graph we have to draw? Y equals minus 2x plus 3. Number 2, x greater than or equal to 3 by 2. The graph we have to draw is 2x minus 3. Yeah. First, we'll draw this graph. Right. 2 is a value. Or it's not a value. This one, 2, 2. Right. This height is 2. Then the point we need is this. This is 2, 2 point. The graph is minus 2x plus 6. The graph passes through the point this. Intercept is 6 people. Then here 2, no? 4, 6 somewhere here. All right. So that intercept point and this point now you can join. But this direction we don't extend that because we need this graph on the left of 2. Then the left of 2 part only we have to draw. So then left of 2 means to the left. This part only we have to produce. You see. Right. This is okay. Next one, y equals 2. Between 2 and 4, y equals 2. Right? This okay. Next one, 4, 2. 4, 2 means this point. The line passing through the point this. Its intercept is minus 6. People, minus 6 is somewhere here. Keep your ruler to the point minus 6 and to this point. Now edges along this minus 6 and this point. Now, when we draw that line and produce both things, we get this whole line. But we don't need the whole line. We need of that line the part which is on the right of 4. Therefore, keeping the ruler like this here and here, draw this part. This here. People, one thing you have to understand there. This equation you know. That equation is y equals minus 2x plus 6. This one y equals 2x minus 6. The gradient of this is here 2. The gradient of this is minus 2. There gradient plus 2, here the gradient minus 2. Then remember, since the gradients are equal and differ by minus sign, this angle and this angle, these two angles must be equal. These two angles must be equal. Gradient plus 2 with the positive x-axis the angle. Gradient minus 2 on the left of the negative, that means on the negative side of the x-axis, we have to measure the angle. That two angles are equal. Right. So then this is the equation of that first graph, this. Right. The graph is that. Now this one, 2x minus 3. We need a point. How to find the first point? Put x equals 3 by 2. 3 by 2 when you put, this will cancel off. Minus 3 plus 3. Correct, no? Put x equals minus 3 by 2 here. When you put 3 by 2 here, 2 and 2 you can cancel. The minus 3 plus 3 by 0. Right, so therefore first point is 3 by 2, 0. Right. Three by 2 means people 1.5, no? 1.5 somewhere here. 3 by 2. Is 1 point. Right. I'll first draw this one. Y equals 2x minus 3. Y equals 2x minus 3. The gradient of this is 2. That line we have draw on the right of 3 by 2. And its intercept is minus 3. 1 point is this, we found that. minus 3 somewhere here if we mark. People, in this case, here what is the gradient? Gradient 2. What is the gradient of this line? Also 2. When the gradients are equal, you know the lines are parallel. Therefore, no point of finding here that intercept minus 3, because we don't take 100% accurate scale now. That occasion, if we draw by considering this intercept, the line might not be parallel to this. If so, this line and this line will intersect somewhere. Then the graph is wrong. That occasion, people, we have to very carefully consider the other facts also. Yeah. So therefore, this line should be, people, parallel to this way. They never meet because of parallel. That fact very important. If we draw so that these two lines will intersect somewhere, your graph is wrong. You won't get the marks for the whole this graph, right? They should be parallel to each other. Approximately, they should be parallel, right? Like this. The other one, when I put here, again we get 0 now. Now for this graph also, this is 1 point. In that graph also, people, gradient is minus 2. This also gradient minus 2. Therefore, the line that come in like this should be parallel to this, right? This way. It's people, the intercept is plus 3. Little bit above this way, people, we can draw this on about 2, so as to parallel this. The intercept is 3. In this case, taking the intercept is very important, because here this 2 is marked, but earlier this minus 3 was not marked. So therefore, if we draw this line below 2, again there is a mistake we have done. We haven't considered that intercept. So therefore, at least little bit above 2, if we can draw this line to cut the y-axis, that much there will be, people, much important, right? Like this. This way, right? Equation y equals minus 2x plus 3. Is the graph, people. Right. Now, I draw this line with red color. Can you see that red? No. On the black, I am drawing that. Two are also parallel. The equation this is y equals 2x minus 3, right? This is a red color one, right? Okay, I do that with the red color, right? So now people will ask, please answer the question. What is the question given? Find the values of x for which mod x minus 2 right. Mod x minus 2 plus mod x minus 4 greater than mod 2x plus 3. Minus 3, no? Yeah, minus 3. Okay. All right, people, now this one is really this part. That means this y. And then this means what? Y value of the black graph. This is y of, in my diagram, black graph, right? 2x minus 3 mod means this one. It is y. This means this y is the y of the red graph. Y of red graph. By this inequality, what is asking people? The asking thing is y coordinate of black graph greater than y coordinate of red graph. What is the interval of x occurring y of black greater than y of red? Y coordinate of black. Yeah. Y coordinate means people height to this graph. Y of black means from x-axis the height to the black graph. In other words, we can again explain this one. What is the interval of x? The black graph is above the red graph. What is the interval of x? The black graph is above the red graph. That interval of x is the answer. You can very clearly understand, people. For all values here, this value, if we find this x value, on the left of all x values, all the x values left off to this point, what can you say here? The height to black one is greater than the red one, right? When you consider any point here, the height to red is this, height to black is this. Black height is greater. So therefore, the black graph is above the red graph on the interval of x less than this x value. This x value we have to find now. That x value can easily be found, people. This point is coming. This point has x coordinate. That x coordinate is the x value here. This x coordinate can easily be found. This point is coming by the intersection of this and this. This equation is y equals 2. This is y equals 2x minus 3. Then at this point of intersection, the y values are equal to this red one and to this black one. The y values are equal. So therefore, this y value and this y value we equate. Then we get x value. That x value will be here. If I take this point as A, point A can be found. Point A. Solving what, people? Y equals 2 and y equals 2x minus 3. Then equate this y and this y. 2x minus 3 equals 2. X is, people, 5 by 2. This x value is 5 by 2. Right, so then on the left of 5 by 2, the black one is above the red one. So therefore, the solution of this is x less than 5 by 2. X less than 5 by 2. Right. So therefore, the solution of mod x minus 2 plus mod x minus 4 greater than mod 2x minus 3 is x less than 5 by 2. This is how we take that answer. Right. I will come to some quadratic graphs. We'll come to some quadratic graphs. Right now? Yeah. So I write this now. Right, next one. Write down as a question. Sketch the graph of y equals, take this one, x squared minus 4x minus 4. Hence, sketch the graph of y equals mod x squared minus 4x minus 4. This way. Right. In quadratic equation, under theory people, we have learned how to draw a quadratic graph, right? You should have that knowledge here. Yeah. To draw this graph, which one? This one. Right. It's a minimum graph, no? Y equals x squared minus 4x minus 4. X squared coefficient is plus. So therefore, this graph is minimum graph. Right. To draw the minimum graph, we know people, when we draw a graph, quadratic graph, there, if the graph is like this point we have to find, that is called as the vertex. And these 2 points we have to find the x values, they are called as the roots. And sometimes we take this y value also. Right. So now these values we can find, vertex we can find like this. We have to complete the square of this. Before completing the square, the x squared coefficient should always be positive 1. Here it is available. Right. So now, what are the steps in completing the square? Put perfect squared, opening a bracket. Within bracket, what we write? From this x squared, only x without the square. And from this x coefficient, divide x coefficient by 2 and write. We get minus 2. Right. And the perfect squared of the second number within bracket, we have to always subtract. Then 2 squared is 4, no? That 4 we subtract. And this minus 4 we write next. Okay? Open the bracket, put perfect squared. From this square, only take this x, divide the x coefficient, it's 4 by 2, then we get 2. Right? They are the 2 terms within bracket we write. And second number, perfect square, we always subtract. And the third term available here, we write. Then this is x minus 2 perfect square minus 8. Right. Now, this vertex, its x and y coordinate, we can very easily take. Right. Take this sign to opposite. Then we get plus 2. It is the x coordinate at the vertex. Right. Therefore, vertex we can write 2. After the perfect square, with this sign, take this number minus 8. It is the y coordinate of the vertex. 2 minus 8. Right. Vertex, okay. These 2 points called as the roots. You know at this point, y0. Then roots. Roots can be found putting y0 here. Putting y0. What do you get? Then if you put y0 here, this will be equal to 0, no? Right. So then we get x minus 2 perfect squared minus 8 equals 0. 8, then we can write x minus 2 plus so equal plus or minus root 8. Root 8 means people 2 root 2, no? X equals 2 plus or minus 2 root 2. Then the two roots come in like this. Taking plus sign, 2 plus 2 root 2, 2 minus 2 root 2. This 2 minus 2 root 2 figure people negative, huh? Because 2 root 2 is more than 2. Now the other value is people this one. That value can easily be found at this point. You know x coordinate 0, no? Right. Then put x equals 0. When you put x equals 0 here, what do you get, people? We get y minus 4. Now we can sketch the graph. X-axis. This is y-axis. Vertex 2 minus 8. Here 1, here 2. Minus 8 here, minus 4. Minus 8 is here. Vertex is this. Cut in y-axis at minus 4 here. The two roots are, one is here, other one is here. The rough sketch is this. This is a graph. Two minus 2 root 2. This point. 2 plus 2 root 2 this point. Right, this is the people graph with the equation this. Now asking to draw, so this point is 2 minus 8, no? 2 minus 8. Yeah. Now asking to draw this people, mod graph. Yeah. The graph we need to draw is this now. Y equals mod x squared minus 4x minus 4. Right. Right, people, now what is this? This means within this model sign, this 3 terms means really this, no? It means y. Y means the y coordinate of this black graph. Right? Think like that. This is the same function, this. It is equal to y. Y means the y coordinate of this graph. Somewhere here when we consider point, y coordinate means this height. Somewhere here we consider a point on the graph, y coordinate means this depth. Right. Now we need to draw this mod graph. Right. You can see to the left of this point, the y coordinate of this portion, the y coordinate is positive. That means this is positive. This is positive. modulus of positive value means the same. If this is positive, its modulus is the same. No? If number is positive, modulus is the same. Since here, on the left of this 2 minus 2 root 2, all these heights are positive. When we draw this modulus graph, the same portion coming on the left of 2 minus root 2. So then I am going to draw that one with this red color. Right? So shall I draw that in another diagram? Right. Right. Two minus 2 root 2. The same thing. Right. Here 2 plus 2 root 2, next one. On the right of 2 plus 2 root 3, 2 root 2. This height is again positive. That means this is positive. If this is positive, modulus is the same. Therefore, on the right of this also, we have to do the same part. Then people, the same two parts only here we have here and here. Therefore, the equations of this and this should be the same thing, this, no? Right, so therefore, the equation of these two should be the same thing, no? This x squared minus 4x minus 4. Right. Now the middle part from 2 minus 2 root 2 up to 2 plus 2 root 2 between these two. You know, between these 2 points, this depth is negative. That means, people, this part is negative. Now within the modulus sign, we have negative value. Right. Now you know, when we have modulus of minus 4, how to obtain this? When this is negative, to find the modulus, what is suggested? Multiply that same negative number by another minus sign. This way, it is plus 4. Therefore, since this is negative between 2 minus 2 root 2 and 2 plus 2 root 2, this part you have to multiply by minus. Multiplying by minus mean, people, now suppose here like this. Right, we have a graph like this. For example, this is suppose minus 2. Then this height only we multiply by minus sign. Then already we have minus. When you multiply that by another minus sign, we get what? Plus 2. So therefore, the same height coming above the x-axis like this. This point come to the above of x-axis. Like that, another point when we consider, people, this height we have to multiply by minus sign. Then same height coming above the x-axis. That says, people, these all points are coming this way. That means graph coming like this. That is to say, people, when a part of a graph or whole graph is multiplied by minus sign, that says, when we consider this x-axis as a mirror, what is the image of this part? That is this. Then multiplying a graph by minus sign means its minus graph can easily be obtained taking mirror image through x-axis. So therefore, the minus graph of this portion we have drawn. That means if we place here mirror, what is the image of this portion? That is coming upside like this. That graph only we get. Then this minus 4 will be plus 4. Here. Minus 8 will be plus 8 somewhere here. And same 2 we have right here. Then we get that graph. This is a rough sketch. So now for this middle part, what are the equation? This middle part, people, we obtain how? by multiplying this whole thing by minus sign. So therefore, its equation going to be what? Y equals minus this part. No, this part you should multiply by minus sign. Then this will be minus x squared. This is plus 4x. This is plus 4. Right. So this is the equation of this middle part. We have to take the mirror image. So therefore, this is 2 plus 8. This is plus 4. This is how we draw people that modulus graph. Right? The part which lies below the x-axis, we have to take the mirror image. Right? Through x-axis. Right. Right, people, now we'll take one question. It is a question number 25 in your tutorial. Question number 25. Question number 25. Take question number 25. I'll give a few minutes. Right, the question is y equals mod x squared minus 8x plus 12, right? Okay, first we'll draw this graph. Right, complete the square bracket perfect square. We get x here minus dividing this by 2, 4. Subtract the square of this 16 and plus 12. Right? Y x minus 4 perfect square minus 4. What is vertex? Change the sign this to opposite plus, and with this sign we have to take this. Root because this is 0. X minus 4 perfect square minus 4 equals 0. Take this right hand side and take the square root. Plus or minus we have to put 2. The two values are x2, x6. Right. Now we can sketch the rough graph of that. Two and 6. Right. 4 minus 4. 4 is in between 2 and 6. Minus 4 is here. Now rough sketch here we have, people. Right. This point is put x0, y12. This is a graph of this. We need it modulus. Then we have to take the mirror image of middle part through the x-axis. Right. That graph will draw. Through here, 4 here, 6 here. Y. 2, 4. 2, 6 here. 4 minus 4 will be 4 plus 4. Somewhere here. Mirror image, when we take something like this, we get 12 is somewhere here. Right, we'll draw like this. is 4, 4. The equation of this and this being the same, no people? Y equals x squared minus 8x plus 12. Right. This one we obtain taking the mirror image, no? So therefore, the equation of this will be multiplying the right hand side by minus sign. Y equals, right, minus x squared plus 8x minus 12. Okay, right. That graph we drew. The next graph we have drawn is people y equals mod x minus 2. You know how to draw this? This graph can be drawn. Take in y equals mod x graph. This graph we shift to right hand side by 2 units. That means here the vertex. Right. Then that graph coming a V-shaped graph this way. The graph is like this. I draw anyway people like this with the black color. Now this. The angles this and this being equal, right? 45. What is the equation of this part? Y equals x minus 2. This is y equals minus x plus 2. Right, this way. Now, what is asking next? Asking these people. The interval this. Modulus of x squared minus 8x plus 12 less than or equal to mod x minus 2. What is this people? Mod x minus 2 graph is this V-shaped graph. It should be above the other graph. The V-shaped graph is above the other graph in between this point and this point. That means y value of that graph is greater than the other graph between these points. Suppose this point is A, this point is B. Between A and B, that V-shaped graph has greater y value than the other graph. Right, this way. And equal sign also asking. Then asking what people? The range of x, the V-shaped graph is either above or equal to the other graph. Equality occurs people exactly at this point. Now you know the height to this V-shaped graph and height to this other graph at this point being equal. Therefore, this x value we have to include. Here also, the height to the V-shaped graph and the other graph, this heights being equal. Therefore, to the answer, we have to include this x value too. Not only that, people, here look at this. Here also, the V-shaped graph y value 0, the other graph also y value 0 here. Y value here also equal. Then this also another solution. Then already we know one solution, x equals 2. Why? At x equals 2, the y values of the graphs are equal. That we consider because of here equal sign. This equals this. That means y values are equal. One value we know already at x equals 2. One solution. Other solution we can write by finding this x value. This x value and this x value. Then including these two x values in between them, this less than thing again happens. Okay, right. Okay, now we have to find point A and point B. Point A, right? Point A is the intersection of this line and this curve. Then we have to simultaneously solve that equations, right? What is the equation of this? It is this. Equation of this is x minus 2. Then equate y values of them. Solving y equals minus x squared plus 8x minus 12. And what, people? Y equals x minus 2. This point A is the intersection of this line and this curve, no? So therefore solve them simultaneously. Right. So then we get here, equate them, x minus 2. Bring these terms to this side. X squared takes to this side, minus 8x plus x is minus 7x, right, plus 10. Factorize this. Find the two factors. X minus 2, x minus 5. Then two x values are x2 and x5. Then x2 is not possible for the point A. 2 is here, no? Therefore, this should be 5. Right. Next one, point B. Point B, people, come in with the intersection of this line and this curve. Therefore, this one and this one we have to solve. Solving y equals x minus 2 and y equals x squared minus 8x plus 12. Right, now equate them. X minus 2. Right now, people. Now we get there. Take this to the side, 9x minus and 14. What are the factors? X minus 2, x minus 7. x2, x7. 2 is again impossible. Therefore, this is 7. Right. Then the required inequality becomes valid. I can write, therefore, the solutions of mod x squared minus 8x plus 12 less than or equal to mod x minus 2 are. First solution, people, this 2, x equals 2. X equals 2. Right? Or the other one is between 5 and 7, including both. Right? X less than or equal to 7, greater than or equal to 5. This is how we answer that part. Right. Now people will come to the question number 18 as the next. Number 18. Question number 18. The next question. Right. Right, people. Question number 18. Right. It says, people, sketch the graph of y equals minus x squared plus 2x plus 8. Right, now this is a maximum graph, no? Because x squared coefficient is minus, no, maximum graph. Then before completing the square, we know the x squared coefficient should be plus 1. Then take this minus sign out. Then once you take that out, something like this we get. The signs will change inside the bracket. Now this is the one we make the complete in the square. There, open the bracket, put the perfect squared. From this x squared, put only x. Divide the x coefficient by 2. Here we have minus 2, no? Dividing by 2, we get minus 1. And then subtract this 1 squared. It is 1, no? 1 squared is 1, no? Subtract that. And this minus 8. Now we have y equals minus x minus 1 perfect squared minus 9. Remove the bracket by multiply minus sign. After removing the bracket by multiply minus sign only, we determine that vertex. What is vertex? As before, change the sign, these two opposite. 1, this is 9. Root, how to find, people? Equate y to 0, no? Y 0 means this is 0. This difference is 0 means this equals this, no? X minus 1 squared equals 9. Then x minus 1 is equal plus or minus 3. Then x equals what? 1 plus or minus 3. X equals 4. X equals minus 2. Right. Ask you to draw that one, no? Yes. We will draw that one. 1, 9. 1, 9 is the vertex. Root 4 and minus 2. This is the graph coming. It's a maximum graph now, right? This way. Same diagram, sketch the graph of y equals 3 times mod x plus 2. Right. This point is people 1, huh? 1, 9 point. Next graph is y equals 3 times mod x plus 2. We'll define this mod x plus 2. Changes at x equals minus 2, no? On the right hand side of that is x plus 2. Left hand side minus x minus 2. When x greater than or equal to minus 2, what graph we have to draw? 3 times mod x plus 2 on the right of minus 2 is x plus 2. What is the graph we have to draw? 3x plus 6. 3x plus 6. Right. This is x equals 1 point. Secondly, x less than minus 2, y equals 3 times minus 6 minus 2. Y equals minus 3x minus 6. Yeah. Now we have to draw that two graphs. Right. Here to draw this a point we need, no? Put x equals minus 2. 3 into minus 2, minus 6, plus 6, 0. Then when x equals 2, y is 0. Minus 2, 0. At this point, well, in this case, intercept is 6. Right. You know, this is 8. Put in x equals 0, we can take, no, this is 8. 6 is somewhere here, suppose. But people, another important point we have. When I put x equals 1 here, 3 into 1 is 3, 3 plus 6 is 9. When x equals 1, y is 9. X equals 1 is here, y 9 is here. That means, people, this line is passing through the point, this also. Right? If you miss that point, people, our graph is wrong. So therefore, to draw that line, join this point and this point and produce the line to up this way. This point and this point you have joined. Graph, can you see that clearly? Right. This line y equals 3x plus 6. Next one, this minus 3x minus 6. Then for that also, we have to put the point, put x equals minus 2. When I put x equals minus 2, here put minus 2, minus 3, minus 2, plus 6, minus 6 is 0. That point also here. Its gradient minus 3. The gradient of this is plus 3. So therefore, this angle and minus 3x minus 6, the angle on the left of x-axis must be equal like this. Then that should be passing like this. Remember, since the gradient of this is minus 3 and this is plus 3, these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal. Right. Now, next thing is this graph also, people, this maximum graph is symmetric about this vertex, no? When we draw vertical line, a line parallel to y-axis through the vertex, about this line, this maximum graph also symmetric. Right. Then we drew that two graphs on the same diagram. This is y equals minus 3x minus 6. Okay, right. We do that. Okay, now asking the questions like this. Find A and B so that the equation this and this to have the solutions x4 and minus 2. Right. It's a good question here. Right. The equation of this graph is y equals minus x squared plus 2x plus 8. Right, now we'll see how to take the answer of the next part. Right. Ask in this way, people. Hence, find A and B so that minus x squared plus 2x plus 8. That means this graph equal 3 times mod x plus A plus B. This is an equation. This graph and this graph, when we draw both in the same diagram, the solution should be x equals 4 and x equals minus 2. For this equation, solution should be x equals 4 and x equals minus 2. What do you understand by that? If we draw this graph and this graph both in the same diagram, the two graphs must intersect at x coordinate 4 and minus 2. Then we have to determine that value of A and B. And that A and B value should be determined by using this part. Right. So this is how people we argue that. This A and B are constants. Right. So then this x we have. So this V-shaped graph, the equation was what, people? Y equals 3 times mod x plus 2, no? The same 3 here we have. That says when we draw this 3 times y equals 3 times mod x plus A graph, okay? Y equals 3 times mod x plus A graph, the gradient on the right hand side and the left hand side still 3. Why? When you define this mod x plus A, and if you obtain this way the equations, the x coefficient will not be changing for this one and this one. Therefore, for this graph also, people, the right hand side part has the gradient plus 3, left hand side part has the gradient minus 3. This vertex will be changing because x is added there. Okay. And here plus b we have. And now suppose this graph we can draw by shifting this V-shaped graph to the right or left. We don't know. If this A is really negative, then this graph can be obtained by shifting, right, this point to right. If this A is positive, people, this graph can be drawn taking this V-shaped graph to left. And now we have determined that values of A and B, so that after shifting like that, now adding this B mean, people, what? After shifting this graph to the right or left, if this B is positive, that shifted graph to the left or right should be taken upwards. If this B is negative, that shifted graph should be taken downwards by this value. That's how we draw this. Anyhow, people, wherever we draw this graph, that graph will have two branches. They are parallel to this and this, and these two angles are equal. Okay. Now, this is how we determine. After shifting this graph, this V-shaped graph, to the right or left, right, up or down, finally, the two branches should pass through the point this and this. Understand? Okay. Why? Then only this and this intersect at O(n) minus 2. So the first thing you have to understand that. Okay. Then I'm going to think like this. Right. I'm going to take people this y equals 3 times mod x plus 2. Yeah. Think like this. That way when you think y equals 3 times mod x plus 2, no. I am going to let this x plus 2 as capital X. Right. For this simple x plus 2, I am going to take capital X. Then this graph becomes y equals 3 times mod capital X. Right. Now this graph, people, we have to definitely bring to right. Why? If we take this way, people, right, this changes at minus 2, no? When I take this side, right, this line passing like this, but we can't draw, right? Once you take this one, people, the V-shaped graph should pass through this point and this point, both, no? Then I take this graph to the point this. To the point this. This point we take to the point this. Then here 2 units, here 1 unit. Okay. Right? Then we have to take this graph to the right. When you take the graph to the right, people, by 3 units, because here 2 units, here 1 unit. Right? Then what's the new graph? When you take this graph to right, we have to subtract 3, no? By x, because we know subtracting something, the graph goes right. Now this vertex is here. Vertex is here, right? Carefully understand this, may be confusing. All right, now here we have all right. So now here the two branches are like this now. First branch is this, other branch is this. These two heights are, people, equal, no? What is the reason? What's the reason, people? What's the reason? Because this line and this line make same angle. Okay. Now, what is this height, that occasion? People, you know, this is 2 units, this is 1 unit. Then when we go 3 units away from this vertex to this line, the height is 9. Right? Yeah. This height is 9. Now, wait, don't be hurry, Carefully understand this. From this vertex, when we go to the right by 3 units, the height to the line is 9 units. Okay. Now, you know, in order to pass this branch and this branch through this minus 2 and this 4, definitely this should be taken downward. Okay. Right? You know, this is 1. Here, this is 4. Then what is this length? 3. Then if I consider this height at x equals 4, when we consider this height, right, from the vertex 3 units to the right, when we go, what should be this height? That height should also be 9 people. The reason here from the vertex, when you go to the right by 3 units, this height is 9. Now, from 1 to this 4, there are 3 units. From here, when we draw a vertical line, this height is 9. Now, finally, this graph, people, we have to take downwards so that this line passing to the point this, and this line passing to the point this. People, you can very clearly understand from here to here, also 3 units. Then, when we consider this one, this height also 9. This height also 9. Why? These two V-shaped parts, people, equally inclined to the right and left of the x-axis. That is why we say at equal distance from this vertex to the left and right, the same heights they have. Then, people, you can very easily understand, when I bring this point 9 units down, automatically this point also come in 9 units down, and this branch both will be passing through the points this. So therefore, what I do is, people, I bring this graph to here first, and then I bring that 9 units down. Okay, then these 2 branches will be, people, going through the points this and this. Right? Then here what we have done, the graph we drew here shifted to right by 3 units by subtracting this. Now that graph we have taken by, people, 9 units down. People, when a graph is taken 9 units down, we have to subtract 9 from that, no? Then we get this graph. It's this branch and this branch now passing through what? -2 and 4. Understand? Okay. And now what is this x? Y equals 3 times. What is this x? Simple x plus 2. -3, -9. Now simplify this. 3 times x minus 1 minus 9. Now compare this with the right hand side, this. What do you have there, people? Y equals 3 times mod x plus a plus b, no? Then what is the place of a we have? -1. Place of b we have -9. Therefore, a is -1, b is -9. This is how we take that answer. You have to very carefully think here. If you don't have good knowledge regarding the gradients are equal and opposite in signs, the same angles on the right and left have, right? And shifting this graph to right and left, what happened? When you take graph up and down, what happened to the equation? If we have those ideas only, people, very easily we can think this, otherwise it is really confusing. Okay? This graph should be taken to the middle first and take downward. Then this branch and this branch will pass through the point this and this. Then this maximum graph and this new graph will intersect at 4 and -2. Then the a value -1, b -9. Right, people? Secondly, ask another one more. What is that? Find L and M so that the equation L and M so that the equation -x squared plus 2x plus 8 is equal to 3 times mod x plus L plus M to have the coincident root at x equals 1. Coincident root at x equals 1. Right. Coincident root. People, coincident root means this. The two graphs we have like this. Now, if we have this way, people, the graph, two different roots we have. Roots means x value, no, here x value, here x value we have. That x values are two different. So therefore, there we say two different real roots or two distinct real roots. Now we should have that two roots overlap each other. Where? At x equals 1. Therefore, these 2 points should occur where x equals 1 means, people, this is the x equals 1. That means this graph and this V-shaped graph should intersect exactly here. These 2 points should overlap to 1 point where at that point x coordinate should be 1. Then, people, to bring this point and this point closer and finally to this point, you know, this graph you have to take upwards. See, little by little, when you take along this x equals 1 line, this graph upwards, see, this point and this point coming closer, little more closer. Then, you know, this point and coming closer and closer. Then exactly when the 2 points coincide each other, the vertex of this V-shaped graph should be at the highest point here. This way. Then finally, people, to have the coincident roots at x equals 1, the V-shaped graph should come to here. Here. Okay, that in that case, people, again the same a value as before. Since we have taken this upside by 9 units, then what is the answer there? Yeah, in this case we have, instead of that a here we have L. L is still that -1. And this M should be, since this graph after shifting to the right by 3 units, we took upwards by 9 units, that M should be, people, what? 9 units plus. Okay. So therefore, we can write, in this case, the second case is L is -1, M is 9. L is -1, M is 9. This is how we take that, people. Okay. Right. Shall we take 10 minutes break? And after 10 minutes, we come to another few questions, and then we go to what the polynomial function is. Right. Right, come to the break, 10 minutes, right? Right, people. I will come to the next question as question number 29. Take question number 29. Right, in your tutorial, take question number 29, people. Question number 29. There you are given the set of real values of x that satisfy the inequality L minus 5x mod less than modulus of kx minus 3, right? L and k are real positive constants, right? L, k are positive values. This happens in the interval x between this. Right. Sketch the graphs of mod L minus 5x and y mod kx minus 3. Ask him to sketch these two graphs. Both L and k given, people, positive. Right. So when we'll first define this L minus 5x mod. Right. L minus 5x mod. How define that? L minus 5x mod. When you define, what do you get, people? The same L minus 5x we get if L minus 5x greater than or equal to 0. Okay. This one says as what, people? L takes the right hand side, 5x divided by 5. x less than or equal to L by 5, L minus 5x mod will be equal to this. The mod of this will be equal to negative of this. That means what? Negative of this means 5x minus L. If here x less than or equal to no, then this should occur the other interval. What is that? X greater than L by 5. Then if I depict that on the number line, L by 5, suppose here x equals L by 5 and smaller values. That means including L by 5 and to the left. Understand? Including L by 5 and to the left. L minus 5x mod is equal to this. Right? Greater than L by 5, here 5x minus L. 5x minus L. Then I am going to draw people. This part, L and K both are given as positive. Then here the gradient is plus 5. Here gradient is minus 5. Right? That's a straight line, two straight lines. Right? This way. Turning point is L by 5. People now will draw here on the right of L by 5, 5x minus L. We don't know exactly value of L. There, one point we can find. What are that, people? When I put x equals L by 5 here, L by 5 here, 5 and 5 we can cancel down. L minus L 0. One point only we have, that is the L by 5. Y0 at x equals L by 5. To find the other point, we know there should be 2 points to draw the line. No. Minus L can be taken as the what, people? Intercept, but we don't know exact value of L. Then in that case, to draw the graph, we use the gradient. Gradient is 5. Having that gradient is 5, in our mind, we draw the line like this. Like this. Then other one gradient is minus 5. They are of the same angle. This should be making the left like this. These two angles are, people, equal, no? Right, this way. So therefore, the equation of this is what, people? The equation of this is y equals L minus 5x, this one, y equals what, people? 5x minus L. Now next one, next graph is what? Y equals mod kx minus 3. Right? Then if we define this one, k is positive, no? Then this turning point going to be 3 by k. Then mod kx minus 3, on its right it is kx minus 3, on the left it is minus kx plus 3, because this should be multiplied by minus sign. Okay. Now there is a issue. How, people? How to find this 3 by k? Whether we take this 3 by k on the right of L by 5 or on the left of L by 5. that we don't know. For that only, we use this thing given. L minus 5x modulus, that means this graph lies below the next graph we are going to draw in between -2 and 4/9. -2 and 4/9. The graph, this is also V-shaped graph, no people? This kind of graph. The turning point is 3/k point position. That graph, when we draw on the same graph, the graph we are going to draw will lie above this graph in between -2 and 4/9. Then how should we draw that one, people? -2 and 4/9. In between -2 and 4/9, the graph we are going to draw will be above this graph. Then how should we draw? Do we take k/3 somewhere here? It can't be, because k is positive, no? Somewhere here. If it is like this, and this, is it possible? No. Why? Here this is not minus value 4x. This and this branch should intersect on the left of y-axis. Therefore, k/3, when you take less than L/5, satisfying that condition, you can't draw. Okay? You might ask then, what if we draw taking k/3 this way and people this way? This angle. To intersect this line and this line, this angle should be greater than this angle. Why? That's obvious, no? To intersect this line somewhere here at minus figure, this angle should be greater than this. Then people, you know, here in this graph also, right hand side branch is gradient k, left hand side branch is gradient minus k. So therefore, in this V-shaped graph, this angle and this angle should also be equal. Then the other branch also, the branch here coming, should make the same angle. Therefore, that should be like this. This angle and this angle are equal. Therefore, this angle greater than this angle, then these two lines never intersect. So therefore, this black one is, people, greater than this one greater than this. Not only in that interval, -2, 4/9. Here, this graph is greater than this early one. So therefore, this is also not possible. Due to that, this k/3 should not be in the left of L/5. Then we have tried this second graph on the right of L/5. On the right of L/5. On the right of L/5. I like this. I draw it like this, people, here. This way I draw. This angle is now smaller than this angle. This angle smaller than this angle. Then the other side also, same angle, this. Then this angle is smaller than this angle. Therefore, no chance of this branch and this branch to intersect somewhere here. Therefore, this should be the diagram. So therefore, this should be k/3. This equation should be what, people? Y equals kx minus 3. This one should be y equals minus kx plus 3. Therefore, this should be the minus 2. This should be that 4 by 9. Right? So this is how we can draw that two graphs, people. Y-axis. Then ask him to find what this values of L and K. Yeah. Now you can very clearly understand at this point, this graph and this graph intersect. That means at x equals minus 2, the height to this line and height to this line are equal. Okay. That means this y value and this y value are equal at this x minus 2. Thereby you can obtain one equation involved in K and L. At x equals 4 by 9 also, this height of this graph and this graph being equal. Therefore, this height means this y value and this y value again become equal at x equals 4 by 9. Thereby, you can take the second equation. They will be involving L and K. Then you can find L and K by solving those equations. Right? Yeah. Take that now. Right, you can now write at x equals minus 2, minus kx plus 3. That means the y of this, that means this height, equal to L minus 5x, the same height. Put x minus 2 where here? Minus k times minus 2 plus 3 equals L minus 5 times minus 2. Here 2k plus 3, L plus 10. Take this side, 2k minus L, here 7, number 1. Second one, at this point, x equals 4 by 9, this y value, minus kx plus 3, and 5x minus L again become equal. Right. Now, secondly, people, at x equals 4 by 9, okay, minus kx plus 3 and 5x minus L become equal. Minus k times 4 by 9 plus 3, 5, 4 by 9 minus L. Right, we'll multiply this by 9, minus 4k plus 27, here 20, minus 9L. Take 9L to this side, 9L minus 4k equals here minus 7, number 2. We will now solve in this 1 and 2. We can find L and K. Now, L value and K value you can now find. Right now? Okay. People, there is another question at 30, question number 30. Take that question number 30. Try to do this question, a similar question like this. Question number 30. Right. I'll give you a few minutes. Right. Question number 30, given Here's the graph of y equals mod x minus a and y equals b times mod x minus a 1. Okay. Here a b positive, a greater than b, a greater than b, b not equal to 1. Hence, if the set of real values of x such that b times mod x minus 1 greater than mod x minus a. This interval is between 3 and 7. Right. Find the values of a and b. Okay. But people now here, when you define this, not x minus 1, changes at 1, no? On the right of 1, it is x minus 1, left of 1, minus 6 plus 1. Then on the right hand side of 1, since this is equal to x minus 1, multiply that by b, we get y bx minus b. On left of 1, y equals b times this minus x plus 1. So what is that? Y equals minus bx plus 1. Then you can again see right hand side gradient plus b, left hand side gradient minus b, the equal angles coming. Now I am going to draw these two graphs to satisfy this condition. Then from that itself we can answer the question also. Okay. Yeah. Now this graph greater than this in between 3 and 7. Then I draw it like this. Okay. Right. X is 1 here. This changes at x equals 1 now. And I take it like this. These two angles are equal. This equation is y equals minus bx plus b. This is y equals bx minus b. Minus bx plus b, no? This b should multiply by 1. Right. The other one, this one you can draw shifting mod x graph to right. Then it's like this one. Should be like this. Right. This angle and this angle are equal, but this time this angle with the cross sign is greater than this angle with the dot sign. Otherwise, this branch and this branch won't intersect. Now, this and this are the two values x3 and x here 7. This way. So what is the equation of this branch? Y equals minus 6 plus a. When you define this one, on the left of a, this point is a, people, right? And on the right, x minus a. Then again, you can see, people, at x equals 3, these two heights are equal. Height of this and height of this being equal. Therefore, at x equals 3, this and this become equal, right? You can write at x equals 3, bx minus b should be equal to this minus x plus a. Bx minus b, this equation bx minus b should be equal to minus x plus a. Put x equals 3 here. 3b minus b minus 3 plus a. Here 2b brings this side minus a equals minus 3. Number 1. And at x equals 7, we can see again bx minus b and x minus a are equal. X minus a is equal to bx minus b. Put this here 7. Then we get 6b plus a equals 7. Number 2. Solving this 1 and 2, we can take the answer. Right. Now take, people, as the last question of this lesson, question number 33, part 3. Question number 33, part 3. Question number 33, part 3. Take that. Right. Question number 33, part 3, asking to solve this. Find the set of all real values of x satisfying the inequality 2 times mod x minus 3 is then or equal to 2 plus x. We'll define this mod x minus 3. 3 here, mod x minus 3 on the right of 3, x minus 3 on the left of 3, multiply this by minus 9, minus 6 plus 3. Right, including this 3 to the right. This one, first one. X less than 3. This inequality I'm going to write 2 times mod x minus 3 less than or equal to 2 plus x. This takes on the left of 3 minus 6 plus 3 less than or equal to 2 plus 6. Here minus 2x plus 6, 2 plus 6 takes to this side, takes to this side, 4, here 3x. This gives us x greater than or equal to 4 by 3. Then for this and this, we have to take the common region, no? X greater than or equal to 4 by 3, including 4 by 3 more than this. 4 by 3 means 1.3 something. And this says x less than 3, excluding 3. Common region is what? The two shaded area have the common region 4 by 3, including up to 3, no? 4 by 3, including up to 3, excluding. First one. Secondly, x greater than or equal to 3. This one, 2 times x minus 3 less than 2 plus 6. 2x minus 6, this side takes right hand side, 8. Common region is x greater than or equal to 3, including 3 to the right. X smaller than or equal to 8. 8 here. The common region is including 3, including 8 between them. Number 2. Then how to take the final answer? Number 1 union number 2. That's how we take the final answer. Therefore, the required solution. Is 1 union 2. 1 union 2 means, people, here including 4 by 3 up to 4, but not including up to 3, not including 3, right? Including 4 by 3 up to 3, but excluding 3. This whole region. To this we have to add, include this one. This time this 3 is taken. First one 3 excluded, but second one takes this 3. So therefore this deleted one we have to color, because here this x takes the 3 and up to 8, including 8. Now this plus this means the required solution going to be, people, x less than or equal to 8, greater than or equal to 4 by 3. This is solution. For what? For this one. Right? Therefore, the solution of 2 times mod x minus 3 less than or equal to 2 plus 6 is this: x less than or equal to 8, greater than or equal to 4 by 3. This is the solution. Now asking to solve hence. Hence means using this solution. Hence, asking to solve, people, this 2 times mod x plus 3 less than or equal to 2 minus 6. Asking to show this. That means using the answer of this only, we have taken the answer for the second part, that part. Okay. Here, people will see, to obtain this inequality, I'm going to obtain this inequality. By this inequality, substitute in for suitable values of x. We substitute for x a suitable value by which, by this inequality, we get this inequality. Right? You can very clearly understand, using this inequality, we can obtain this inequality if you replace every x in this inequality by minus x. Right. This is the inequality we need. Right. Now you can write replacing x by minus 6 in 2 times mod x minus 3 less than or equal to 2 plus 6. See what happens? 2, x is minus 6 now, minus 3, 2 plus minus x. Right, here what do you get, people? 2 modulus, take minus sign out, x plus 3 modulus, here 2 plus and minus minus. How take the people modulus here? This minus sign we can ignore because modulus always positive. But x plus 3, for the x plus 3 we have to take the modulus. Right? This minus sign modulus means plus. But we don't know really this is x plus 3 plus or minus. So therefore we can ignore this minus sign and modulus can be taken of this x plus 3. Right? Because after getting modulus, finally we should have positive value. Right? So since we don't know exact value of x, nobody can say the sign of x plus 3 whether it is positive or negative. But finally, since we have the modulus in the left hand side, finally left hand side answer should be positive. So therefore we ignore this minus sign and then we write instead of that mod x plus 3. See what happens? With the substitution x by minus x, we are here, we could obtain this. That means the next one given us. Yeah, therefore people, this one we get by replacing x in this minus x. So therefore, the solution of this we should get replacing x by minus 6 of the solution of this. Right? We could obtain this one by replacing x here by minus 6. So therefore, the solution of this should be able to take replacing this x by minus 6. Understand? That is the argument. Therefore, you can write. Therefore, the solution of two times mod x plus 3 less than or equal to 2 minus 6. 2 times mod x plus 3 less than or equal to 2 minus 6 should be able to take replacing simple x by minus 6. Replace simple x by minus 6 in the solution of 2 times mod x minus 3 less than or equal to 2 plus 6. Less than or equal to 2 plus 6. That is, what is the solution of this people? This no? Then x less than or equal to 8 greater than or equal to 4 by 3. Replace x by minus 6 is here. Now multiply this by minus sign. That means minus 1. Then this will be minus 4 by 3. This get the opposite people when you multiply by minus. Then this is plus 6 greater than this. So this is the solution of what is. Right? That's how we take that answer. Right, now people, I supposed to finish the inequality part from here, and we will get more sums in the paper class. So then some different type of sums we can consider in paper class, right? Okay, in the theory class, people, sometimes we couldn't do up to this extent, but I think I did more percentage of these parts we did, but extra, in addition to that, some new parts also I did here. That is because of in the theory class, people, that you are very too early now to do the difficult things, right? Those times, of course, soon after O levels. If I did this difficult things, people, sometimes bit difficult to understand. So this is the chance of doing that now, right? Okay, so then do the rest questions under this inequality, right? Okay, now I am going to give a start for the polynomial function, right? Then write the heading as polynomial function. Polynomial functions is the next heading. Right, I'll remind the theories first, people. And I told you to remind the theories and join the class, because we have to concentrate on doing more sums in this revision class, not to concentrate only the theories. Right. Now, I'll give the important notes where necessary. Right. Write down polynomial function. Right. Okay, people, polynomial function we define something like this now. We have x as a variable, it has powers, positive integers, so 0. And it has coefficients which are real numbers. X is a variable has the power positive integer or 0. And that term can have any coefficient which are real numbers. This way. Okay. This is an example for polynomial function. So their polynomial function contains x, that is the variable. Its powers are positive integers, positive whole numbers, or 0. Here 1 only we have, that is 1x 0. This kind of algebraic expression we define as a polynomial function. Its coefficients, this 2, -3, 2, and this -1, they are real numbers. Then they can be decimal or fraction or mixed fraction or positive or negative, whatever. The coefficients can be any real number. Okay. Right. So then this is called as a polynomial function in x. Among the powers of x, the highest power we define as, people, the degree of the polynomial function, right? Degree is here 3. And the term containing the highest power of x we define as the leading term. And its coefficient is called as the leading coefficient. Right? That's how we define. Right. Now, when we write third degree polynomial function in x in the most general form, third degree means the highest power of x should be 3. Then the most fair form of writing the third degree polynomial function is ax cubed bx squared cx plus d. Here a, b, c, d are what? Any 4 real numbers. This is third degree. Second degree one we can write ax squared plus bx plus c, degree 2. A, b, c are real numbers. First degree one we can write, people, ax plus b, a, b are real numbers. Degree 0, 1 people we can write as x to power 0, put in a constant before that. X to power 0 is 1, no? Right? We assume in this case x doesn't take 0. Right? X0, that means x0 is 1. I can write only a. This is degree 0 polynomial function. Degree 0 polynomial function is, people, a real number. Any real number is 0 degree polynomial function. Right? Right. From here, we start listen. Right. All right, don't like this. Heading is a polynomial function. Write down. Right. Polynomial function is an algebraic expression involving a variable with positive integral powers. O power 0 and with coefficients of them are real numbers. Right. Next one, write down. The greatest power of the variable is called as the degree of the polynomial function. And the term containing the highest power term is called as the leading term and its coefficient is called as the leading coefficient. Right on this example. Like this, Right. Next one, write down. The polynomial functions. of degree 3, 2, 1, 0 in their most general form are as follows. Right. Write down these people. Degree 1. Not degree 1, degree 3. Here, degree 2. Here, degree 1. Here, degree 0. Right. People, degree 0 means a real number. Degree 0 means a real number. Right. Right. Okay, now we have to consider division of two polynomial functions, right? Come to that now. Division of two polynomial functions. Division of two polynomial functions. Division of two polynomial functions. Right. People, when we divide two numbers, we know the number which comes here is called as the dividend. This is called as the divisor. This answer is called as the quotient, no? And finally, the figure here coming is called as the remainder. Right. Now we are given dividend and divisor. They are now as polynomial functions. And then we have to divide the quotient and the remainder. Right. I will discuss a few examples. Right. Yeah. I'll come to the first question. Divide x4 minus 2x cubed plus x squared plus 1 by x squared plus 1. By x squared plus 1. Right. You should know how to divide this. We did this in the theory class. Then what we do, people, here? The dividend function is this. Always the given polynomial function we have to arrange in the ascending order of the powers of the variable x. Dividend and divisor both we have to arrange descending order, from the highest power to lowest power. Descending order, right? The way we have arranged is that 4, 3, 2, 0. Power is from highest to lowest, descending order. The powers of the terms should be the descending order for the dividend and divisor both. Right. So therefore, this is x4 minus 2x cubed, x squared plus 1. Powers are arranged in the descending order. And divisor also we have to arrange like that. Now this is how we write first. Now the highest power of the dividend we divide by the highest power of the divisor. Yeah. Then first thing is, you know this, x4 divided by x squared. When you cancel down this, we get x squared. No, that we write where here. Now by that we multiply this divisor and result we write below this. Then x squared and x squared, x4, x squared and 1 means x squared. Then what we do is, this one we subtract from the first. This minus this will cancel off. This minus this will cancel off. Then this and this we get minus 2x cubed plus 1. Now we consider this as our new dividend. Its highest power term we divide by the highest power term of the divisor. What is that? Minus 2x cube should be divided by x squared. What do you get? Minus 2x cube by x squared means x minus 2x. We get minus 2x. Now that minus 2x and this divisor we have to multiply and write the result below this. Minus 2x into x squared is minus 2x cube. And here minus 2x and 1 minus 2x. Now subtract this 2. Then when you subtract this from this, we get 1 plus 2x. Now here degree is 1. Here degree is 2. Here leading term is 2x. When we further continue this division, this 2x should be divided by x squared. Then that will be 2 by x. That is nothing but 2x to the power minus 1. 2x to the power minus 1. Then we get minus power. That only we must write then here. If the power is negative, that will not be a polynomial function. So therefore, whenever we take here lesser degree than this divisor, we stop the division process. So therefore, here we stop that. So therefore, this is the remainder. It's 2x plus 1 quotient. Quotient, people, x squared minus 2x. Okay, yeah. This way we can do the division of two polynomial functions. Right here, people, in this division, we notice these properties. In the divisor, the degree is 2. Divisor, the degree is 2. Quotient degree is 2. Dividend degree is 4. The remainder degree is 1. Right? Among these 4 degrees, people, there are 2 relations. When we add the degree of divisor and the quotient, 2 plus 2 is this 4, equal to degree of the dividend. And relation between the degrees of the divisor and remainder. Here 1, here 2. You can see the gap is 1. The difference 2 minus 1 is 1. That is not the relation. The relation is always the degree of the remainder less than the degree of the divisor. Then here the gap between them is 1. It is not always like that. The degree of the remainder is always less than degree of the divisor. Sometimes in some other question, the remainder can be of degree 0. Understand? Those properties are very important. Okay, right. I will write down it as a note. Right. First, people complete this one. If you need this also, you can take down at a side. Right. First, complete this. Right. Write down like this, people. As a note, write down. Note. First one, write down the sum SUM, the sum of the degrees, the sum of the degree, the sum of the degree of the divisor and the quotient is equal to the degree of the dividend. The degree of the dividend. Second one, people. Write down number 2. The degree of the remainder is always less than is always less than is always less than the degree of the divisor. The degree of the divisor. The degree of the divisor. Right. Okay. Next one, write down, people. Algorithm of division. Algorithm of division. Right. Algorithm of division means, people, a very simple thing that you know already. For example, when I take 19 divided by 3, answer is 6, 18, remainder 1. You can establish a general relationship among these 4: 19, 3, 6, and 1. What is that? This 19 is equal to 3 into 6 plus 1. Okay? 3 into 6 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Right hand side 19, left hand side 19. Both sides are equal. So this is the algorithm of division. What is that? Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus the remainder. That relationship is called as the algorithm of division. Right. Write down. For any division, the relation for any division, the relation dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder becomes true. Becomes true. This is called as the algorithm of division. This is called as the algorithm of division. Is called as the algorithm of division. Right. Now we'll see, people, use of this algorithm of division to divide two polynomial functions. Write down as an example. As a question we'll write. Divide the polynomial function x cubed plus x squared plus 2x minus 3 by x squared minus 1 using the algorithm of division. Using the algorithm of division. using the algorithm of division. Right. Okay, now people, this is how we use this algorithm of division to divide this case. The dividend function given is this, no, degree 3. Divisor function is this, degree 2. Then people, this function we get as a quotient should be degree 1. And then only this plus this will be equal to 3. And the remainder, this is degree 2, no? Then remainder should be degree 1, no, degree 0. Since we don't know what is the exact degree of the remainder, the maximum possible degree we take there as the degree of the remainder, right? Okay. Therefore, this is people we write as 1. It doesn't say definitely degree of the remainder should be 1. No. Degree of the remainder should be 1 or 0. We don't know, but what is the exact degree there? Then out of that 0 and 1, what is the greater value that we take as the degree of the remainder? So then here, as our quotient, we take first degree polynomial function. The most general form of writing first degree polynomial function is ax plus b. The remainder also, first degree polynomial function we assumed, that I am going to write cx plus d in the most general form, writing that, cx plus d. Right. Now to determine the quotient, we have determined a and b. To determine the remainder, we have determined c and d. Right. Then we start like this. Let the quotient be ax plus b and remainder b cx plus d. That way you can take remainder b cx plus d. Now by algorithm of division you can try. Now by algorithm of division, we can write people what? This dividend is equal to divisor x squared minus 1 into quotient plus remainder. This is what the algorithm of division. Right. Now our purpose is to find people this a, b, c, d 4 values. If you know them, then we know the quotient and the remainder. That is the end of the division. Right. Now we find this ABCD like this. People, this left hand side polynomial function and the right hand side polynomial function equal. When two polynomial functions equal, that means at any value of x, the left hand side and right hand side are equal. And also, when two polynomial functions are equal, people, the coefficients of same powers of x in the left and right also equal. Same powers of terms in the left and right should have equal coefficients. That's the meaning of two equal polynomial functions. Then using them we can determine these 4 values, right? We put x equals 1 on both sides, because at any value of x both sides are equal, no? Yeah. When I put 1 here, 4 and 1 we get, no? 1 cube 1, 1 squared 1, 2 into 1 2, then here we get 4, 4 minus 3 is 1. Left hand side 1. Right hand side, when you put x equals 1 here, this will be 0, therefore this product is 0. Put x equals 1 here, c plus d, therefore c plus d is 1. Number 1. X equals minus 1, put. When I put x equals minus 1 squared is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Again, this is 0. Here we get minus c plus d minus c. Put x equals minus 1 here. Minus 1 cube is minus 1, minus 1 squared is plus 1. These two will cancel off. Here when we put minus 1, we get minus 2, minus 3. It's minus 5. Second equation, number 2. By solving these two equations, we can find people C and D. Then after knowing that C and D and putting that here and here, you can now find what the remainder. Remainder is okay now, right? Now, I'm going to do the next one like this. I'm going to equate the coefficients, right? Very easily, the easy coefficient to equate on left and right, people, the highest power coefficient, highest power term coefficient. In the left and right, very easily we can equate. In the left hand side, x cube coefficient, in the left hand side is people 1. To the right hand side, x cube terms are coming like this. When you take this x squared, then this ax, when you multiply, what do you get? A, x squared into x is x cube. The coefficient is a. On the right hand side, no x cube coefficients or terms anymore, right? This and this product is the one and only one way of giving x cube term to right hand side. That term is x squared into ax is ax cube. Ax cube, coefficient is a. 1 equals a, that means a equals 1. Another value we can put x equals 0. Why? We said for any value of x, both sides become equal, no? Yeah. When you put x equals 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, left hand side minus 3. And here, when you put 0, this bracket is minus 1. When you put x equals 0 here, this bracket is b. When you put x equals 0 here, we have d. Then we get d minus b equals minus 3. Number people 3. Now, by solving this, people, we can find this a, b, c, d, a. We know already, right? When you add these two, what do you get? 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2, what do you get, people? Plus c minus c will cancel off. d, 2d. Here, minus 4. 2d equals minus 4. Then d equals minus 2. When d minus 2, take that right hand side, plus 2, c is 3. When this d is minus 2, put that minus 2 here, take this minus 3 to this side, 3 minus 2, 1, take this b to right hand side, b is 1. Now we found all. Now we can write, people, the quotient and remainder. Therefore, the quotient, substitute for this a and b. Therefore, the quotient is a value is 1, then x, b is 1, x plus 1. Remainder is cx plus d. C is 3, 3x plus d, d people minus 2. This way we can use the algorithm of division to divide these two. Right. This kind of questions, people, not included into the tutorial. Those questions available in the theory tutorial. If you need to practice, do that tutorial again. Next day, I supposed to finish for this polynomial function lesson, including remainder theorem and factor theorem. There, like this, I revise the theories and concentrate of doing more sums. Within first 2.5 hours or 3 hours, I think I can finish this polynomial functions also. After that, I start the quadratic equation part next day. Then next day and another class when we do, we can cover up these 4 lessons, right? Okay, then people, today we come to the end of this class.